Hello and welcome to Trading Hour on CNBC-TV18. I'm Ekta Batra and with me Surbhi Upadhyay. Well, it's turning out to be a session where we are seeing some amount of profits being taken off the table. So currently the Nifty is just about consolidating at this point in time with a little bit of a negative bias. So down around 0.2%. We have the mid-cap index which is absolutely flat, and we have the Bank Nifty which has been marginally underperforming but now recouped most of what we saw in the early part of trade. So the Nifty Bank down around 64 odd points. Advance decline ratio weak and sluggish. So 830 odd stocks advancing to around over 1100 stocks or thereabout, just about declining on the Bombay Stock Exchange. A lot of stocks to discuss as usual. We have the likes of Jet on our radar, Bharti Airtel, L&T and Jubilant Life Sciences, which we'll be discussing over the course of the next 60 minutes. Hi, Surbhi.
Hi, Ekta. Well, I guess it's a slightly quiet day, though having said that, I mean, there's a little bit of buying at low levels. So from the lowest point of the day, minor sort of 10-12 point recovery on the Nifty that's come through. Today, you have to watch out for a lot of the oil sensitives because that's been the big headline. Crude price is almost moving to $69 a barrel yesterday. And that's playing out on a lot of the oil marketing companies. That up trade is finally getting reversed. So profit taking is the order of the day on stocks like BPCL, IOC, etc. Also watch out for heavyweights like Reliance Industries and HDFC Bank. Throw in a TCS. Actually, let's pull up the contribution plate. Now, these are your big pivots. These are the big heavyweights which are dragging things lower this morning. And that's pretty much where the pressure is coming in from. Let's see how much of this reverses. That's what I was talking about. Those three, RIL, HDFC Bank and TCS, accounting for most of the declines. On the other side, you've got L&T, which is firing away on the upside. Well, on that note, let's get started. We have a lot of ground to cover. Let's, in fact, see if we can get across to Mitesh. Yes, I think he is with us. Mitesh, good morning. So it's so far quiet. Any trades either on the Nifty Bank, which hit that historical level in the morning, or on the Nifty?
Actually, good morning, Surbhi. I've been waiting for this fall, I think, since 2 days because we've kind of booked out on the indices, and 11,450, 470 is my buying level on the Nifty with 11,420 as the stop loss. Targets of 11,600, 750 is what I maintain. So in that sense, the trade should happen possibly today in case we get another 25-30 point decline, and would be very happy to start taking longs again on the indices.
Okay, all right. What about your picks then, Mitesh? What are you recommending?
Yeah, I have a buy on L&T with a stop at 1389 for targets of 1440, and ACC is a buy. Keep a stop at 1574. Look for targets of 1615.
Okay, well, we have a Twitter query for you as well. Mohammed Fahim wants to know if now is a good time to buy 10,000 shares of IDFC Bank. What would you recommend and suggest?
See, I think I've been liking the stock, but it's kind of run up a bit. So if it's a short-term view, maybe, avoid. But I think on the longer-term charts, I am looking at a first target of 59 to begin with, and chances of 66 are also very bright, and I think the stock has given reversals on the medium to longer term charts. Accumulate now, I think that's a good level to have if you have about 4, 5, 6 months plus kind of a horizon, and keep a stop below 47.5 and keep buying on any one and a half point kind of a dip. And I think on the upside, 65 should happen in the next 6 to 7 months.
Okay, all right, Mitesh, thank you very much for that. Those are some trading ideas that you can work with. Let's look at some stocks in the move, and one of them that's catching the eye right now on the screen is Kaveri Seeds. Pull up the intraday graph. There's been a sharp reversal, days high on that stock because of some favorable regulatory developments in Andhra. We have Sonal joining in with the details. Sonal, it seems that license that was withdrawn, that's getting reinstated?
Absolutely, Surbhi. So basically, this particular license for cotton seeds in the state of Andhra Pradesh was suspended in the month of February, and now the company has actually got it back, and there's a revocation of the suspended license in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So the company replied to our query, and they said that they would like to mention that the license of cotton seed in the state of Andhra Pradesh has been given back, has been reinstated. Now, back in their Q3 con call, they said that this particular cotton seed does not contribute more than 5% to total revenues, and the analysts had said that this could impact the sales by around 6 to 7%. At the EBITDA level, there could be an impact of around 10 to 12%, and that is why we saw a sharp correction in Kaveri Seeds stock price last month. But now with this reinstatement of this particular license back to Kaveri Seeds, it's definitely a positive news. So yes, that's why the stock is behaving positively. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Sonal, thanks very much for that. So Kaveri Seeds, in fact, up around 2% odd. But let's focus on a couple of other stocks. Bharti Airtel, in fact, is gaining in today's trading session. Rima joins in to tell us more details about the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, or the TRAI, which has released subscriber data for the month of Jan. And for the first time ever, I think Bharti Airtel has in fact added more broadband subscribers than Jio this time round. Rima's here with more of those details. Rima, over to you.
Thanks so much for that. The key takeaway this time is that Bharti has added more broadband customers than Reliance Jio for the first time ever, and that could be the reason why Bharti Airtel stock is a bit excited in trade. So Bharti has added 10 million broadband subscribers in the month of January, and this is important because broadband customers, which are basically your data consuming customers, generate more revenue for the telecom operator since voice services are largely free. Now the question is, what led to it and is it sustainable? And on that we do not have much clarity, but it's important that Bharti Airtel has seen a big jump in its broadband customers, and the chart will be up for you on your screen. So this month it stands at 10 million for Bharti, while for Jio it was at 9.3 million, and while Vodafone Idea continues to languish. If you look at the overall subscriber addition, Jio continues to see the most in terms of subscriber adds. So they've added 93 lakh subscribers in the month of January, which is 56% of the incremental subscriber add. The active subscribers, which is also something that you need to monitor, because a lot of these users are inactive. Over there, Bharti and Vodafone saw a decline in the month of January, and that's because they have implemented the minimum average revenue per user, so they are weeding out the inactive or the low-paying customers. So the key takeaway, the two key takeaways: one, broadband customers, which are your higher revenue customers. Bharti has added more than Reliance Jio for the first time ever. But if I look at the overall subscriber base, Reliance Jio continues to garner a lion's share. 50% of the incremental subscribers in the month of January have been added by Reliance Jio. So the overall subscriber addition for Reliance Jio continues unabated. But just a standard disclosure, Reliance Industries, which owns Reliance Jio, is also the owner and the operator is the owner of the channel CNBC-TV18 that you're watching. Back to you.
Okay, Rima, thank you very much for putting that data in perspective. So that's the telecom subscriber numbers for the month gone by. Speaking of numbers, we also got aviation data, and it's quite telling. Obviously, Jet's loss is very clearly SpiceJet and Indigo's gain, Sonia.
Yes, that's what the data indicates. Overall, it's a big slowdown that the air passenger traffic growth has seen. 2 months now of single-digit growth that we've seen this time. In fact, in the month of February, it was just 5.6%. This compares to 9.1% in the month of January. And before that, you had an average of around 15 to 20% growth in passenger traffic. Now, the reason for this big slowdown is a sudden skyrocketing of airfares after the grounding that we saw of Jet Airways planes. Jet Airways market share has also come down quite a bit expectedly. The market share as of Feb stood at 11.4% versus 13.6% in Jan. And as they say, one man's food is another man's poison. So Indigo and SpiceJet have upped their market share to about 43.4% for Indigo and 13.7% for SpiceJet. Now, HSBC has put out a note where they say that the domestic traffic growth is at the slowest we've seen in the last 5 years, as fares have seemed to move up north. They have a hold rating on SpiceJet with a target of 79.50. And they have a reduced rating of Jet Airways with a target of 190 per share. Additionally, there's some talk, of course, unconfirmed talk on SpiceJet that, perhaps Ajay Singh could come in and first take on some of Jet's planes, and then perhaps some of, be a part of the restructuring plan as well. Of course, those are unconfirmed rumors at the moment, but that's what's driving the stock higher.
Okay, all right, Sonia, thanks very much for that. Absolutely, we have SpiceJet, which is up around 8% at this point in time. In fact, the mid-caps have managed to just about break into the green as well. So there's some amount of hope which is probably coming in on the mid-caps. Let's see whether they manage to build on gains from current levels. But otherwise, it's turning out to be a session where the advanced decline ratio is still on the negative side. Take a break, but up next, we'll discuss commodity trading ideas. T. Gyanashekhar of Comtrends Research will be sharing his strategies for this Friday on the other end.